This meeting is being recorded.
Let me click that. Hey, this is Lisa Cara, your host of the Lessons from the Core podcast. I'm so thrilled to have my guest here today. Zaeira Yakova is here. I'm so happy to have you. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to be here.
It's so fantastic. So you are a real estate agent from the Metro City Property Group, and I had to have you on. We have lots to talk about today, and for us, we both met back at a fantastic networking event in June, and I don't know if you feel the same way as I do, but I met so many connections that weekend, so many amazing people. We've continued to get to see each other at several ladies hangouts and different things, and it's just been such a gift to be in your energy and get to know you. I love being able to check into our gut intuition and first impressions, and we definitely hit it off right from the beginning. And Zaeira and I have one funny thing to tell you. As we arrived here today, or as I arrived here today, we both had the exact same shirt on. Green shirt, exactly the same. So how sweet. That doesn't surprise me at all, because as I said, I just love your energy and everything. So one of the things that I wanted to find out about is just, how did you get into real estate? Was it something that you always dreamt about as a young child, or tell me a bit about that story.
Yes. But yeah, I do definitely agree. We made some amazing connections that weekend that we met, and I love your energy too. And we have so many great things to always share and ideas, and we also like the same clothes, so it's a win-win. So I got into real estate a few years ago, and growing up, people kind of told me to get into real estate. I've always kind of had an entrepreneurial kind of bone, I guess. I've always loved to run my own business. I love to build on ideas. And I got into real estate kind of in between jobs. And I loved it right away. I think my goal was just to help people on a larger scale. I was working in banking as a financial advisor before, and I loved the work I was doing with people one-on-one. So I figured, you know what, I'll do it on a larger scale. I love the real estate world, and I love to study and help people answer questions. So I feel like I'm kind of in the best industry to be doing that.
Yes, you're such a people person, and you just radiate that willingness to help others, and which that's exactly what you need when you're looking for a home. You want to feel like you're supported and you can get those questions asked, and that you're just so willing to make people feel supported that way. I love your videos that you get to really share just tips on like how to set up the house and how to keep things going for, some of us have homes that are a little bit older. So yeah, even thinking about how to update things with paint trends and various things like that. So all that is so helpful. Do you enjoy doing this social media aspect of it?
I do. I do enjoy it. I was a little bit nervous in the beginning because I didn't have a big social media presence before I got into real estate. So I was nervous, but I feel like those challenges kind of help you grow. And like we were talking about earlier, I think for me, it's about the message. And one thing that I really love about real estate is when you kind of see, the economy in Ottawa, and you see people spending that kind of wealth on real estate. It's so important to make sure you do your homework and understand all the different angles. There's so many questions to be asked, especially for first-time home buyers. You don't know what you don't know. So that's something that I love about it, is being able to share that information through social media, and just make it about the information. So I was nervous. I still get nervous when I'm doing the videos. But I just try to focus on the message. And I think to myself, you know what, even if one person watching this video right now or reading this, stats update is going to be helped in some way, then it was for good reason. So just go for it and do it.
Yeah. And so if someone's, thinking about a first time buyer and they're thinking about some of the things that they have to look out for, where is the best place to send them? Right directly to the website
Yeah.
or certain social media channels?
Yeah, my Instagram is Ottawa Real Estate Blog. I have tons of updates on there all the time, policy changes, stats on different areas of the city. My website is zaeirayakova.com. I have a blog on there as well. You can reach me there directly. You can email me from there too. So my website's a really great source. My Facebook is also Zaeira Yakova Ottawa Real Estate. So I'm and my LinkedIn as well as Zaeira Yakova. So I'm pretty accessible for the people that need, to have all their questions answered. I'm very, very transparent. That's one thing about me is I'm very candid with my clients. I'm proactive, but I also keep it real, because there's so much information out there and it can get messy when you're a first-time home buyer or a seller and you're looking online. So I'm very candid with my clients and transparent, and I tell them the real numbers so that they can kind of make an informed decision for themselves.
Yeah, there are so many decisions and so many things to consider. So to be able to, and wherever you are in life or which way you like to take in that information, if you're someone that is all over LinkedIn and not really going on the other social media, that's fantastic that you are showing up on all of those places to be able to get that information out there, because, sometimes there's so many things everywhere and you do want to be able to digest that information in the way that works for you, whether it's a blog or sitting down with a face-to-face meeting, just getting to know the areas. And if you're not from Ottawa, just knowing about, certain little hidden gems versus hidden areas to maybe avoid.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you don't realize even about certain like flooding areas, if it's a certain flooding area and right in a certain subdivision or whatever. If you're not from here, I'm sure just being able to have access to that. And we will link all of those details up in the show notes below so that you can get access to everything, because it's always a great way to just get that easy access. And then I know you have always had a love and light and passion for volunteering. And I want you to just tell me, how did you get started with that? And what are you doing with your volunteering nowadays?
Thank you. So I started volunteering when I was about 15. I lived in the West End with my family, and I come from a pretty big family of 6 kids. And my mom and dad we were refugees when we came here, so we didn't have
And where
lots of
did you
money
come
to do.
from?
We came from Dubai. We
Okay.
traveled through Afghanistan and came from Dubai, and we got here in '99. So raising 6 children from my mom and dad, they didn't speak the language. It was a pretty long transition, but I'm so grateful that we came here. But when I was about 15, I wanted to get involved a little bit in the community and just find things to do. We weren't in a lot of, extracurricular activities. So I found online this networking group at Ottawa U, and I took 2 buses from Bell's Corners to Ottawa U to get to this meeting they had. There was like a group, they were putting on a concert in the Afghani community and fundraising from that concert to send money to Afghanistan. So I show up at this meeting and they're like, "How old are you?" And I was 15, and they were all like, they were all graduate students at Ottawa. They're like, "How did you find us?" I'm like, "Oh, I found it online." So they're like, "Well, yeah, like this is all Ottawa U students that's doing this." I'm like, "Well, please, like, let me help. I want to get involved."
Mm-hmm.
And they let me help. And I was there at all the meetings, and we threw this amazing event. We fundraised tons of money. I got to really understand that world of volunteering and meeting people. And that was my entry into volunteerism. And I never stopped, So it's helped me meet so many people. It's helped me understand, the needs in our community. And it's if I could tell somebody to do anything in their life all the time, it would be to somehow find time to volunteer. So I've done large scale volunteering events like chairing a planning committee for Children's Wish, it took us like 4 or 5 months to plan a major event. I've done a 1-day volunteering thing at a Santa Claus parade. I've been a mentor at the Big Brother Big Sisters club. So it's such a thing for me. It's such a big part of who I am to volunteer, to meet the people, and it's really gratifying. You know, it does something to you, and once you start, you can't stop. So I love doing it, and I still do it. And my focus has kind of shifted more towards children and youth over the years. So right now with Metro City Property Group, we registered Metro City Children's Foundation. So we have a nonprofit, which is so exciting. I'm so proud of.
Congratulations, because that's a
Thank
new
you.
endeavor for the business, right? That's yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And like Tara Kelatar and Steve Alexopoulos are, you know, the team owners, and they went ahead and did that. So we're so excited to be able to kind of get involved in the community on that aspect, and still kind of tied into our business and link our clients to that cause. It's very exciting to be able to do that this year.
Yeah, and will you host some fundraising events and various things that way? Like there'll be.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
So, so on April 29th, we're going to be hosting a big event at a bowling alley. So we're finalizing the details of that. I will put all that information out on my social media at Ottawa Real Estate Blog on Instagram. We'll also have it on our Metro City Property Group Instagram page. And it's pretty much open to the public. You know, it's by donation, and we're going to be fundraising to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation from that event.
Oh, that's fantastic. You must be so thrilled because, as I said, I know your genuine heart and passion for volunteering, and to be able to partner it with the business, and just, you know, it's going to be fantastic. And I'm looking forward to help out in any way. We talked about getting together to do some Pilates things later in the future. And it's always nice. I love having friends around that are as well as passionate about exercise and movement, and being able to set intentions, and knowing that, you know, when we show up for our work day, how important it is to set that energy and intention, and be able to just up those tools that we have internally to show up to be the best real estate agent, Pilates instructor, whatever it is.
That's exactly what it comes down to. You know, we juggle, like even when you and I are talking, we juggle so much. We want to do the most that we can for our communities, for our families, for ourselves, for our clients. And that's exactly what you said. You know, the key for me is setting up that intention to do it well, but also taking care of my mental and physical health, to be able to put my best foot forward in all those different aspects.
It's so important with physical aspect, personal development, and you at your business, you know, you are all so good at just keeping on top of that personal and professional development and teamwork. You all seem to have such a great just camaraderie and team, which would be just such a great place to show up for work.
Yeah.
Like that
I love
culture.
showing up at my job, and it's so, I didn't think this would happen after my previous job that transitioned me into real estate. You almost kind of forget how that feels. And I genuinely love showing up to my job. And in real estate, a lot of realtors work from home. It's kind of I remember when I was new in the industry, I met some realtors that had been in it for a long time, and they'd say, oh, it's a very lonely career because you work from home, you're alone in your car, you're driving a lot, you're meeting your clients. But my team at Metro City Property Group, they've created this culture of camaraderie and learning, and everyone is so happy to be at work. We love showing up, and even during the holidays, like I missed my team, I missed everyone I work with, you know, so I'm very grateful for that.
And then you have so many kind of partnered businesses just outside of real estate with real mortgage brokers and different financial advisors that I'm sure you have such a huge network. And what about networking events? Do you enjoy getting out to networking events just to build on your resources?
Yes, I do. I love going to networking events and meeting other professionals, or even people just in general that are new to the city that are coming in to meet people from the other industry. It's so exciting to be able to share that with newcomers. We have so many skilled workers coming to Ottawa in different industries. And I always tell my clients that are new to come to these networking events to meet other people, because it's something that we all sort of have in common in Ottawa. We've all come from somewhere else. A lot of us have, and it's really nice to meet other professionals, learn, and exchange ideas.
Exactly. And we're so lucky. There are so many various networking groups here in this city, whether it's, so many different ones. We've been to several different pockets of them, and it's lovely. It's lovely to get out there and just get back into, again, checking into that intuition, first impression, so many wonderful collaborations and connections. And just, it's always great to just plant those seeds, whether it's a friendship to develop or a fantastic business collab down the road, right? It's always such a gift to be able to just like check into those passions and share out those things. And I can't wait to do Pilates with you next.
So
That's going to
excited.
be exciting. And I find, for anyone that is, whether you are driving and having to do busy things in the car, you're doing your work on your phone, then running to the office to get something printed out or do something there, like being able to slow it down with the breath, being able to visualize and set those intentions for the most beneficial kind of two-way street buyers that you're supposed to meet that day. I always wish you wonderful buyers that you're going to meet that day. But it's so true, like just being able to connect into like, how am I meant to show up? Who am I meant to serve? And being able to connect in with that. One of my questions that I love to ask my guests that are on the Lessons from the Core podcast, and I want to thank the Metro City Property Group again for sponsoring this episode of Lessons from the Core. But a question I love to ask is, I'd love for you to tell me about a lesson that you learned from a red flag moment. So it can be either business, professional, just anything.
Oh, okay. I think I have one that kind of ties it all together. It's self, career, health. A big red flag moment for me was when I was working in my finance career before real estate. I learned a lot and I'm so grateful for that industry, but I was so unhappy. And it's not because of the industry or because of any other reason. I was just not happy with where I was working, and I didn't see myself there in the long run. And I just didn't feel like I was aligned with my true calling, and I couldn't get out of this box. So it was kind of eating me alive inside. I was like, oh my God, I'm so unhappy. I didn't like going to work. I still worked hard. My favorite part was meeting the people and talking with them and getting to know them and helping them. And I ended up I did that for about 4 years. I ended up getting really sick, and I got sick and it was caused by stress. I had to go, I was not working for 3 months. I couldn't go to work. And it was so hard for me to be at home not working, because I hadn't done that since I was probably 14 or 15, that I didn't have a job.
Right.
And it's just like, it's almost like I had to shut down to kind of realize what I really wanted to do. And I kept meditating and trying to heal and get better. And even though I thought that I was like, I felt so kind of like rock bottom at that point, what ended up happening is I had this thought. I kept kind of, meditating, and I woke up one day and I said, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to start real estate. And I go on Indeed jobs and I call like the first person hiring a real estate admin. And I said, I want to start my license, but I want to know what I'm doing when I get it, but I need a job. I don't want to go back to banking. And he said, okay, I actually want somebody that wants to get into real estate because you'll be more motivated to learn the job. And you know what? I started working for him, and he taught me so much that I needed to learn. It was the greatest mentorship and coaching to get me started into my career. I got my license, and I just didn't look back. So I think the lesson for me was, you know, really trusting your intuition. And even if something seems scary or unattainable, just being bold and going for it and being true to what you want. And if you feel unhappy to the point where you're going to get sick, or you feel, you know, such a dis-ease within yourself, that's your inner voice telling you that you have to make a shift and that you need to realign your priorities. So that was my big red flag. And now I'm, you know, I'm so grateful that I do practice listening to my inner voice and intuition and trusting it to help make the best decisions for myself and my purpose. So that was a big red flag. And, you know, I know there's probably a lot of people out there that think about getting into real estate and it seems scary. It seems, oh, they hear all these different things from people about the market going up and down and this and that, you know, and I just advise one thing. And I would say this even to buyers and sellers that are afraid because they're seeing all this information online. Just come face to face with me or with an agent that's done it and that loves it and that has a system in place. And then you'll realize that all these exterior factors don't affect your success as much as your own, you know, as much as your own drive and purpose. So for anyone that wants to get into real estate, just get in front of a realtor that loves what they do, and you'll realize that it's not going to be easy, but if it's what you want to do, you'll learn and you'll find that joy in it yourself.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that's a thing too, like having that mentor that's in that profession that can really show you and guide you.
So
That's so lovely that you linked up with that person. No coincidences, right? That's so fantastic that you were able to see that they were looking and get in there, like how meant to be.
it was such a, yeah, you know, no coincidence, but it was like the stars aligned, you know.
Mm.
He's the most meticulous realtor. He'd been in the industry for more than 33 years when I met him, and he was meticulous. He knew how to do, it's exactly what I had intended. I wanted to learn how to do the job, not make errors, understand all the different platforms that we use for day-to-day work. And I ended up in front of the person that had done it for over 33 years and was known as that guy that is meticulous and perfect at doing his job. So the stars aligned, and
Perfect
I
person
think
to
it
learn
happened.
from.
Pardon?
Perfect person to learn from.
Perfect person to learn from.
Yeah. And
Perfect
that's one
person.
thing too, is like understanding our brain and the way that we learn best and the types of learning. Like, don't you I find that intriguing how certain people, you know, we can get to learn from, or whether we're taking a workshop or whatnot, and certain brains just align so well with whether they're really fantastic at implementing checklists or just certain ways they teach you to actually follow through with the items on the checklist, right? We're all different learners that way. So it's even more such a gift when you can learn from someone that really fits in with your learning style and further motivates you to really like get the job done. Yeah, I
The
love that.
key, having good coaches, having good mentors in any industry or field, you know, I feel like it's been the key for me. So I've just been so blessed in that regard, like having all these amazing mentors around me, even just yourself, and being able to call you and ask you for guidance and advice. It's
I
such
feel
a,
the same way. And so going from back then when you realized that, you know, you weren't really listening to your intuition and it got to the point that the body got overstressed and was, you know, screaming at you to listen. Would you say nowadays you have more tools kind of implemented to listen to that inner knowing?
yes. So big thing for me is kind of touching on what you mentioned earlier is meditation in the morning. It's having a routine, having a strong morning routine has been the key for me to stay consistent. I'm a routine person. And I don't like to, you know, dealt with anxiety. And I realized that anxiety was it was coming from a place of fear, and it would cause me to procrastinate, which would cause more anxiety. So with great coaches and through reading, I've just learned that a morning routine is the key for me, setting my intention for that day and meditating and exercise. Those
I
are
agree.
key, like exercise, like Pilates, weightlifting. Cardio has been a big part of my life in the last 7 to 8 months. And it's the key for me, like healthy eating, exercise. We have to our bodies are temple, we have to take care of our physical body so that we can, give our mind the best place to grow.
Yep. And of course, with us wearing the same shirt today, we're already intuitive on the same path. You already
Yeah.
answered my second question, which is, what's your favorite type of exercise?
Oh,
I love it.
I love weightlifting.
Yeah. Do you
I
love
love
it at the gym? Do you love going out to the gym
I
and
go to
like,
the gym. It's
yeah,
my thing. I
yeah,
go to the gym, and I love the gym that I go to because, they have, I do the whole thing now. I have a good routine there. I work out, I do the sauna, I get ready for work, and
nice.
then I have to work for the morning. So it gets it done in the day,
Mhm.
early in the morning. And by the time it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, I've already been awake for all these hours and I'm at my peak, So I love weightlifting. Cardio's kind of been a big part of my life in the last 8 months. I wasn't a big cardio person,
Mhm.
but I've started doing this incline walk. My sister told me about some TikTok trend, and I was like, oh God, I'm not a cardio person. And I started doing this TikTok trend and walking on a treadmill on incline, and
You're loving it.
I'm loving it. I do it for an hour now. It's like, it's really,
Nice.
really helped me a lot. But I do want to focus more on Pilates, which is why I'm so grateful that I met you. Because I think even when we met, I said, hey, I've been looking into Pilates. So it was kind
Yep.
of like, again, the stars aligning. But I'm excited to do Pilates with you and, collaborate together and have events where we can have people come to your Pilates.
Yeah, getting into some networking and fundraising with that Pilates angle. I'm super excited. Yeah.
And I think I mentioned this to you, and I'll say it here again, like having a Pilates class as like an event to host for your friends is such a great thing. For example, I'm not drinking alcohol this year, so my birthday party is not going to be involving, alcohol, for
Yep.
example. So for me, if I really want my friends around me to do something that I love, I would say, Lisa, let's do a Pilates class. But
Exactly. We talked
there's
about
so
that.
many
We're
places
doing
we
it.
can do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a great way to
Martini.
have a event around it that, yes, is not about drinking. That's about, I mean, so many people are at that point where they are, whether they've been on the journey for a long time, but just getting into that inner knowing and moving the body, meditation, breath work, being able to set the intention, being able to know that we can, deal with whatever feelings we're feeling and feel them and then move them through the body by moving that energy movement and learning, if we need to calm the body down, certain breathing exercises, or if we need to get energized, certain inner tools that we can just go to right away, whether you're a real estate agent or instructor, just being able to navigate through, right? It's awesome. Yeah, no, that's going to be so fun. We have so many fun things in the works that we'll be able to share out and let everyone know. And my last question, my third question that I love to ask my guests is, if you were to write a book, what would it be about, or what would the title be?
I think my book would be about backing yourself up. And what I mean by that is there's so many moments in our life where sometimes we are our own worst critic. We're our biggest, like we just don't believe in ourselves when we should. And there's already so many people out there that might doubt you or you think doubt you, but you don't want to be one of them. And it's the key, I think, is you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that what you're doing, and if you're following your calling, you're doing it for the best reason. You're doing it to fulfill your purpose. And it doesn't matter what the people that or the naysayers say, if you're doing the right thing and you're following your heart, just believe in yourself, just back yourself up. Don't doubt yourself. Don't put yourself down. Words are so powerful. Say good things about yourself and back yourself up. You know, it's not easy out there. So the least you can do is get out there and say, you know what, I got this. I can handle this. I'm doing the right thing. And I'm so excited to help these people in this community. So I think it would be about backing yourself up.
Oh, I love that. And I love how you said words are so powerful and so true. Well, I can't wait till you launch that book one day.
One day, one day.
And it's so fantastic to have supportive friends like you that, you know, just to bounce ideas off with. And whether we're spending time in person, we were going to spend time in person today, but whether we're spending time in person or on the phone, I'm so blessed to have friends like you in my life. And it's just so lovely to get out to networking events where you never know the new friendships that you'll meet and new beginnings, things like that. I love that. I love all our chats and laughs. Taking the time to laugh together, it's so important. And yeah, just taking that time to check in with those people that like light us up and that we feel energized around. And as we said, I'm going to link up everything in the show notes so that people can find out about the events that are coming up with some of the volunteering. Are you looking for extra volunteers for some of the events that will be coming up and things like that? Or
yeah, we might need a couple of
sponsoring?
volunteers. I'll have more info. I actually have a meeting about it this week, so I'll have more info about that.
Okay.
Yeah, but even, you know, well, when we put the info, it's more just to come and have a good time with your family, get to meet other people in the community, and support Children's Wish Foundation through Metro City Foundation. So the key is just to bring the community together for a good cause, let everybody have fun, but also be reminded that there are children and families out there that need our help. So once we have all that packaged up and ready, I'll put it out on Ottawa Real Estate Blog, on Instagram, and Metro City Property Group's Instagram as well. And I'll definitely share it with you, and we can put it out there and just welcome the whole community to join us.
Exactly. And we'll let everyone know about any fun Pilates things we have going on together. Yeah, ways to move the body and networking, right? Lots of networking things coming up. So, which is awesome. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
so excited to get into Pilates with you.
I know. Well, we've got the one coming up, depending on when you're tuning into this. We've got one in person coming up this week that I might see you at. And then I offer privates outside of my home, either in person and on Zoom. And then I love all my techie tools. So I have my virtual studio set up with live Zoom classes. So yeah, lots of ways for us to connect, which is going to be fantastic. And then so many of the networking events that are coming up that I know I'm going to see you at soon. But again, I wanted to just take the time to thank you so much for coming on to the Lessons from the Core podcast. It's been amazing to have you on. As I said, it's so nice to check into that inner knowing and first impressions. And it was such a blessing to meet you back in June and just continue to hang out and chat and get to collaborate on certain fun things that are coming up. So thank you so much for taking the time. We
got to do this. Thank you.
I am so happy too.
Awesome.
And you'll see us together soon because we're going to do a couple other things live together. So we'll see if we show up in the same outfits or what.
We're going to do it next time. Next time I'll wear the shirt and you can wear this one.
Well, love to you so much. And you have a fantastic day. Thanks again for
Thank you,
being
Lisa.
on.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Have a wonderful day. Thank
You
you.
too. Thanks.